and universally beloved, because it isn't. What strikes me as odd is the reasons that profit as to why they might not be universally loved. To quote a composer from the early 20th century, and then to bastardise it, the century of the aeroplane, it deserves its own music. The Western standard notation has served Western music, not all music, has served Western music extraordinarily well over the course of its 600 or 700 years of development, starting with Guido d'Arezzo and the Guidonian hand, acting as an aide de memoire, an aide to memory. It then became a tool for working out musical ideas as the language of symbols became far more sophisticated. But what happened was that it was still tied to the primacy of pitch and rhythm. A composer not working in instruments that are to be performed and whose compositional narrative is not tied to the relationships of pitch and rhythm might find the traditional Western standard of notation not particularly helpful, either to the composer or to the performer who seeks to interpret the music. So a different language perhaps is called for. Graphic notation is a wide term that can take into account all manner of different things, I think. What it does rely upon, in many of its cases, is an intimate analysis and interpretation of the material offered to the performer. The responsibilities, the lines of demarcation, the accountabilities are markedly different. The performance paradigm is different. The compositional language and the context in which it's created is also significantly different. What that comment doesn't seem to recognise is the multiplicity of musical forms, styles, and approaches that's available to the contemporary composer. Equally as much as it could be graphic scores to traditional tonal music, to quote another composer, Australian composer, Martin Wesley Smith, there's still plenty of great pieces to be written in D minor. And I still think there's plenty of great pieces to be written in traditional notation. This is the mirror equivalence, I suspect.